Guys, I'm here with Gordon Ryan. He's giving an honor to talk to me for a few minutes here after the show. I came from Brazil to watch this guy.
Sorry.
But that'll be another time. I want you to know that I was watching you, and I'm doing this today for the Brazilian public.
Okay.
And I was watching you for the first time live, your demeanor here. And I was so impressed of how polite you were to everybody, from a senior person to a child. And unfortunately, the Brazilian people do not see that on social media. So you have a lot of haters. However, you have a lot of lovers too.
I heard that.
I'm seeing that happening. And I want you to know that Brazilians, it's very hard for them to cheer for a foreigner as a hero in sports. Like we had Ayrton Senna. But we did love Michael Jordan too, and Magic Johnson and all that. And I truly believe you're going to be the next one in Brazil, because you're making Brazilians to fall in love with no-gi. And I just want you to know that. And I believe you also want the Brazilians to improve their no-gi. What do you think it's missing in Brazil for this to happen? You are contributing a lot, you know it. And I saw these guys here, the Brazilians, doing well today too. But they're elite grapplers. What do you think it's missing in Brazil for the whole movement of no-gi to take over there?
I think just having a mindset which will kind of lead you into a training program that leads you to progression over time. You have to understand that while it's all jiu-jitsu, there are some big nuanced differences between gi and no-gi. And so if you're gonna, just like when I start training the gi, I don't expect to just be able to do the same things that I can no-gi. So you have to kind of sit back and you have to realize that your game is going to have to be slightly different from gi to no-gi. And obviously, with different rule sets, most of the big gi tournaments are IBJJF rules, shorter time, whereas no-gi, they're longer time limits. They're submission only many times. You have the integration of different kind of leg locks, obviously, in no-gi. And just so having the mindset of really progressing into not a new sport, but almost like a new sport per se, and understanding that there's going to be big differences between gi and no-gi, even though it's all jiu-jitsu. So you can take most of your game from the gi and translate it into no-gi jiu-jitsu or vice versa, but there are going to be some big differences with the gripping, the friction, the lack of friction, the leg locks, the rule sets. So just having a mindset that will lead you into that progression into training no-gi.
Very nice. I don't want to take more of your time, but I have to ask one more thing. A couple of years ago, a lot of people were asking, Gordon, are you going to move to MMA? Are you going to do UFC? And then you have been preaching that, no, Jiu-Jitsu is going to be big. There will be money in Jiu-Jitsu. And now you guys brought Grappling to the UFC Pass.
Yeah.
I think that's huge. Talk about that.
Yeah, so now, we have big grappling events on UFC Fight Pass. And now you have these big titans like ONE FC, Flow Grappling, UFC. They're all working kind of jointly together to promote Jiu-Jitsu in their own kind of creative way. And now we have competition, which is always good. The more big name brand and organizations with money is only good for competitors, because if you have one organization who wants you to compete on a certain day, but another organization is willing to pay you more, now they're in a bidding war. So that's just inherently better for us as athletes to have all these big organizations popping up that can pay athletes, that have big, well-ran professional shows, and it just helps improve our ability across the board to just get jiu-jitsu in front of the eyes of new people.
Well, it's amazing. It's very inspiring, because you heard before, you can go to the mountain or you can bring the mountain to you, and I think you guys did that. Congratulations. Thanks for doing all that.
Thank you guys, of course. Yeah, and I know I have a lot of hate online from Brazilians, but I also have a lot of hate from everybody online. And I know that social media isn't really indicative of what real life is. So I'm sure I have just as many fans in Brazil as I do haters. So I love all you guys.
Guys, super nice guy, a gentleman, a role model for Jiu-Jitsu. He's changing the movement, and we are very thankful for you again. Congratulations, Ryan.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.